I'm going to talk about customer relationship management more broadly than just database marketing. That is collecting information about customers and using that information in a variety of ways that we'll talk about. The reason that we talk about CRM is it can have a profound impact on a company's bottom line if you can increase customer loyalty. Where do we get more profitability from increasing customer loyalty? Yeah, Craig?
You can avoid acquisition costs.
Okay, so one source of this is that, and you saw this in the Tuscan Lifestyle case, right, that acquisition costs are those costs that come up front to get a customer. If you can get the customer to repurchase, those are one-time costs, right? You may have heard the saying that it costs a lot more to acquire a customer than it does to keep them, right? And so that's consistent with that. They might be more amenable to cross-selling or upselling. What about price sensitivity? Right? Think about a brand that you're loyal to when you go into the supermarket. Do you look at the price? Suppose you always buy Crest toothpaste, right? You just sort of pull it off the shelf. You may not even know what the price is. Right? So another source is that loyal customers tend to be price inelastic, price insensitive, and that's another source of profitability down the road. Okay, so some of you may have seen the ad campaign that's been running by Capital One, the What's in Your Wallet campaign with the kind of barbarians that are running around. This is this company, Capital One. This is a quote from Fast Company magazine where it talks about how they respond to an incoming call. The phones ring 1 million times a week, more than 1 million times a week, and computers swing into action. They can kind of anticipate what the question is going to be actually from the customer's past behavior, their account that they have with the bank, all kinds of information that they already have, and that takes about 1/10 of a second. Now that's kind of one extreme of a great, what we would call maybe CRM system in terms of having a great database and great technology. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're using it in the best way possible. Really the poster child for CRM systems is Harrah's. Harrah's has something called their Total Rewards program. Is anybody here a member of it? Okay, a few of you are a member of it. Maybe more that didn't raise their hands. But there are a few people here that are Total Rewards members. And really, Harrah's has been an amazing story based on CRM. All right, they in fact claim that their value proposition is based on customer loyalty. The average customer at a Harrah's was spending about 36 cents for every dollar he or she was gambling. And so he immediately said that, well, you know, there's 64 cents left there for Harrah's to get, not counting any new customers or increases that they might have, and set about developing what a lot of people consider to be the world's best CRM system. You get a card, and then if you're at a slot machine, you put your card in, all right? It can track all your activity. Those are computers, obviously. They can make you offers on the spot, okay? You keep putting dollars in there, and you know, maybe they'll offer you a free room that night. They're using that information that they're collecting in the database to target people that they want to get. What are some ideas? You know, if you were a brand manager, sold your product through food and drug stores, you know, what do you do to create a database? Yeah.
This is related to Stephanie's point to an extent, but they could also have not necessarily just a sweepstakes, but some sort of online, whatever the product is, club or something, where they engage with the customers about, you know, recipes and things like that.
Okay, so that's the thing a lot of companies are doing today is they're setting up some kind of social network site, right? Try to get people to be friends of a particular company or a brand, and try to get information about people that way. Some of you might know that one of the most popular iPhone apps that's out there is Kraft, where they have something called iFood, and their iFood app, where you actually have to pay, I think 99 cents for it, if you want information about recipes. Obviously, filling them with Kraft products would be a priority. Registration for an iPhone app or a site are ways of trying to assemble a database. Let me just make a final point. This talk today ties into what you did earlier in the course in terms of Tuscan Lifestyles, but importantly, it ties into the sell-to-sell case that's coming up in a week and a half, because there you're going to have to look at a big database. I think we have a database of like 30,000 people, analyze it to see why people are leaving, and come up with recommendations for programs to try to keep them and to keep them satisfied.
Many of the changes in digital technology that we're seeing are affecting marketing maybe more than any other area. The growth of the use of the internet, the use of social networking, increased penetration of smartphones and mobile devices are all very interesting from the consumer standpoint, but from the marketing manager standpoint represent really new and interesting challenges. By bringing that to the classroom, I think we can try to get students who may have thought differently about what marketing is to really think more in the mindset of a marketing manager and what they have to do every day.